Hello, the internet.
Hello.
My name is Fran. This is my husband, Michael.
That's me.
And we make videos here on the YouTube. We is a strong word. I force him to sit down and make videos here on the YouTube with me so that I have someone to talk to about journals.
I'm here completely against my will.
Yeah. So, happy 2026. This was supposed to be filmed at the end of January, but it wasn't. So, that's fine.
January has ended, so...
That is true.
It counts.
That is true. So, basically... Oh, I've got stuff in this pocket. Oh, fun. Basically, I got a bit carried away last year with books, and I set up quite a lot of them. I'm just going to have a quick go through how they've landed in the first month of the year, after the first working month of the year. And then I'm going to just basically point at all the things that have gone wrong and make everybody else hopefully feel better about themselves, because they might be a disaster, but so is this. So I had basically it's basically 4 books. It's not, but it's basically 4 books. So essentially, these are my 4 books. I've got 4 piles of books. I don't know if they're all in the shop. There. These are my 4 books.
They are all in shot.
Just about. These are my 4 books. Within these 4 books, I actually have 2 in this one, 3 in this one, 1 in this one, and 2 in this one. So it's 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 books. And then there's also this pouch that contains bonus books that contains more books. That these are project-specific books, so I don't think that they count as journals, because
those are the extracurricular books.
These are for like when I'm working with a specific client. So that instead of having like one big
where did this one come from?
This is just a scratch book. This is just like a notebook.
Example book. Gotcha.
Rather than having like a notebook that has to carry the notes for all of the different projects and clients that I'm working with, every client gets their own little mini book, which is like a thin one. And then I can take if I'm going in and working with people, because now I've got 2 different clients that I go and work out of my home office and I go and see them in their office. It means that instead of having to take the content that I take for everything for everyone, I can just take, he's yawning already, I can just take the little book for the specific work. So basically, this is my work.
First book.
This is my first book. This is my work planner. So in here I have a monthly overview. So this is now what my monthly overview looks like. So I've got project specific tasks. I've got like a general inbox of like a brain dump. And then I've got like long-term projects, including organise a new pond and shed and plan an extension. You don't know that I'm planning an extension.
Have you got anywhere to plan to afford an extension?
No, this is someday maybe. So this is like one day. I know I want to do it. I don't need to keep putting it on my to-do list.
What's the blank?
That's just a second column for this.
Okay.
And then I've got waiting for, so like where, in fact, I need to fill this in I'll fill it in on Friday.
Extension.
Waiting for money. No, but like, so waiting for like where I've sent emails and messages and asked for communications, or I need someone to send me something, or I've like sent an invoice and I need to check on it. That's where I have my waiting for.
Gotcha.
And then I have my timetable. It looks really empty. These are just all of the fixed appointments, and everything else is like open time, but we still have lots to do during the...
But nobody contacts us on Tuesday because it's a very important appointment with Salsa.
Yes, at 8 o'clock at night.
I'm just going to maintain for your YouTube audience that's the dip.
Okay, sure. And then I have the second half of the system, which is the week level. So I've done it a few different ways. On the week level, I skipped a week completely. That was the week that we were in Liverpool at the Wedding Industry Awards.
Liverpool.
I did something colourful. I skipped it. I did a version where it was like a more structured version. I did a looser version, and then this week I ended up just having this. I've split my tasks into this week must, as in they must get done. He yawned again.
Leave me alone.
He's so interested. He's so interested. I've split my to-dos into this week must, high anxiety, like things that are making me anxious, that are not necessarily urgent, but are occupying a huge amount of my brain space, would be satisfying. So like, it would be pretty satisfying to get through this stuff, but this is the important stuff. And then general to-dos, which is just like ongoing work and bits and pieces and things that come up. A lot of this is the sort of repetition of the monthly level planning stuff, because what that means is that if I'm out and about, I don't need to take the month book with me. I can just take the week book with me, or I can just take the day book with me. So
Book 2.
this is book 2. This is book 2. This is my daily book. So
Or the sparkly book.
the sparkish book. This is the daily book. I got my days mixed up on what my to-dos were, so I just put an arrow. That's to
swap them
yeah,
round.
so I knew what to do.
And who's the sparkly book? Not sponsored
This
by?
is not sponsored by. Take a note.
I can't remember. Do I have a jingle for taking
You
it?
don't have a jingle. Take a note.
Okay.
And then I also have the Kimball variations. This was 2 books from Kimball. There was the weekly. You can see I've written some keywords there. They were for, I was running a workshop on goal setting, and it was useful for that. So these 2 pages are stuck together, so you can see that I've basically, where is it? You can see that I've basically, like, I took off all the covers, I butchered the books, I stuck them together. So I've got a page a day version, which is a knockoff of the, like...
What? So, sorry, why did you glue 2 specific pages together?
No, as in I glued the last page of one book and the first page of another book together.
Oh, right.
So I, like, butchered them and stuck them together. So I have a week overview layout, and I have a daily page. I kind of actually love this as a book, as a layout. My idea was that I would use these interchangeably. So at the moment, I'm really loving this layout, and I'm finding this very helpful. I'm not actually using it that much. By the time I'm using it at the beginning of the week, and then as I'm getting into the end of the week, I'm not really using it so much. But I think that's sort of because I do all of my planning at the beginning of the week, and I think that what happens is I end up with like a pretty clear image in my head of what I'm doing, so I actually don't need so much to come into these books. It's also been the case that the second halves of my weeks have also been very disrupted recently, for various reasons. Like on Friday, I think I worked for about 3 hours on Friday because I went to the physio in the morning, and then the rest of the day was a write-off.
And I've been scheduling a breakdown every Thursday afternoon.
So we've not really had much time. So the idea was that I would use these interchangeably. The reality is that I'm mostly just using this one at the moment. That may change. What I have been doing, I won't show them because they're potentially confidential, but I've been writing like meeting notes in this book, and then I'm keeping a track of when I've had the meetings, so that if I recently, where I'm having to now with clients refer back to stuff that we discussed like last year and the year before and like months and months ago, I don't want to put rough meeting notes in the project specific books because they become messy, and I want those project specific books to be something that like bring me clarity, not confusion. And so the idea of having like being able to put my meeting notes in a page like this, and then I have it as a cross-referencey thing, and then I can be like, I know that I spoke to you sometime in May, but the nice thing is that I can literally come into these year overviews and just have like the little index of the meetings that I've had. So I can just be like, that's there, you know, like I can just look at it and move on and find the meeting notes that I need, which makes it seem easier. So this big block, but actually functions as 2 books.
And has it been a great success so far?
It's been pretty successful so far. January was quite a chaotic month because we did like 3 or 4 things that we've never done before in January. Like we did
I thought you were just going to stop. Well, it was really chaotic. We did like 3 or 4 things.
No, we were away. We were in Liverpool for like 3 days.
Liverpool.
And then I ran like a workshop that I'd never run before, and we did like a wedding expo that I'd never done before, and there was something else as well. Oh, my mum was away for 3 days, so I was over at Dad's house covering her.
And it was a wedding awards.
Oh yeah, we
Wasn't
went.
an expo, yeah.
Oh no, we did the expo as well.
Oh yeah, we did both.
Yeah, right. It's been
madness.
it's been a really full month. So then.
Also, just for the record, Liverpool's great.
Oh, we love Liverpool.
It was so nice.
Love it.
And where did we stop on the way back?
Shrewsbury.
Shrewsbury was amazing.
I want to move to Shrewsbury.
Yeah, everyone up north / Midlands, I think we actually prefer them to the southerners.
Oh god, yeah, absolutely. So then we get into the everyday carry. So this is what my January ends up looking like. It's not got that much information. These pages have basically been a write-off because I don't actually need to use them because...
But they look good, they're well laid out and they've got stickers.
Thank you. Because I've been using these pages a little bit more for... this is mostly just for like carrying stuff around for like appointments.
Yeah. This little book always makes me think of Terry Pratchett. You having this really chunky little...
Nice, I'll take it. Thank you.
It's very Pratchett-esque. I can imagine this being like they would describe a character and be like, and she took around her book everywhere. The book had everything in it.
Thank you. I mean, that's the goal of it. And then I've got I've been like using it a little bit. I'm just trying to use it and not be precious about it. So I took a Hobonichi Page Keeper. And I just double-sided sticky taped it onto the back page so it works to hold that page open, which actually has reduced a lot of friction in using the book. Because before I was like, every time I opened it, I had to find the page, and so I wasn't going in to like make my notes. And then I have this little insert, which is a Traveller's Company.
Sneaky book.
Which has got all of my date stickers for the whole year. So that's literally the whole reason I have it. And it took me a whole evening to stick them all down, to transfer them from the tape onto the thing. But it means that I can carry it around with me.
But she got to do this the whole evening that she did it.
Doop 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 stickers. That's actually an audio recording of me putting stickers on.
Yeah.
I think so. With hindsight, this is too chunky.
Right.
So with hindsight, I think for next year, I've already started planning my 2027 setup.
Of course.
Which sounds insane, but, and hear me out on this, it's because I'm reflecting on the newness of this setup. So I'm going, well, actually, this isn't perfect. There was no way for me to know whether or not it was going to work or not until I started using it. So now that I'm using it, I'm like, oh, are these shoes comfortable? I'm not like, I've just bought the shoes, I definitely need to buy new shoes now. I'm going, next time, things that I need to remember, things that I need to think about are going to be these elements, because actually, do you know what I mean? So
you should have a book where you plan next year's book.
This one.
Gotcha.
So this one, I wasn't going to show this one. This one is this is like my anything and everything. This is like my long form book.
So for the record, everyone, she has more books that she's not showing you, keeping them secret. Embarrassed by the number of books, the sheer quantity. This is my book.
This one is just a thinking book. So this isn't a journal. I mean, technically, I suppose it is a journal because I'm journaling in it, but it's not. There's no structure. There's no, like, these are the stickers from another pack, because I bought 2 variations of the same thing. So it's the second set of stickers, and like you can see that from Wednesday the 7th of January until the 16th of February, I didn't use it at all. Oh no, the 16th of January, not February.
It's not the 16th of February yet.
Exactly. Yes. Good. So you can
Gold
see,
star.
you can see that there was just like a whole chunk of time when I just didn't use the book, and that's okay, because I stuck the stickers in so that there's a chronological order of them, and then when I started, it like I just put the stickers in as I use them. So like here, I got the 30th, 31st, and the 1st, and I wrote like that much. These are all my plans for next year. But basically what I have come to the realisation of is fundamentally, I just like buying things. I like shopping, I like buying things, I like having new things, I like things that are shiny. So what I'm going to do for next year, I'm going to set it up. I'm going to ease into it this year. I'm going to have the Hobonichi Spring Start option, and that's going to be my financial tracker, because I actually need somewhere to keep, like, now that I'm making enough money to pay taxes, I have to keep a record of like how many miles I've driven, and what I spent, and what the expense is, and like justifiable things.
And sorry, was that Spring Star or Spring Start?
Spring Start.
Spring Start, okay.
So Hobonichi, which is this company.
Hobanichi.
No. You can't make fun of Hobonichi.
Hobanakai.
Yes. they do a April start. So they do a book that runs April to April.
Mm-hmm.
Sterling Ink, which is this company who does this notebook and also the gold edged one in this notebook, they have a planner that runs September to September. So what I'm thinking is I can have my base journals, like I can have some books that run December to December, I can have some books that run April to April, and I can have some books that run September to September. So I basically get to start a new journal like 3 times a year. But I still get to use the whole journal for the whole year. Isn't that exciting?
Very exciting.
Isn't it clever? These are 2 parts of the same journal. Basically, I like to do in the morning, I like to do a couple of things. The first thing I do is I write down what media I watched the day before. Or read or consumed in whatever form. And then I like to write down, I do a couple of things. I write down a list of gratitude, 10 things that I'm grateful for. And I read, there's a book that I read that gives me like a daily, like thought thinking segmenty bit, like a little quote.
Okay.
And then I write like whatever remaining space, like this much space, it's like whatever. I also sometimes pull a tarot card and write like an affirmation based on the tarot card. Here I've got tarot card stickers, so I use the sticker to make the tarot card.
It's pronounced tarot.
And then like, but there's a lot, like it started really strong. The year started really strong. And then like there's quite a lot of days when I just didn't write anything. Like that day I started, didn't finish. There's quite a lot of days when I don't write anything. Some days I'm just like, I fill in something that says Expo Day.
No time to breathe.
Yeah.
But you drew a lovely little border.
Yeah, but I did that like 2 days later.
Okay.
Sometimes
What's that stuck in?
that is that's the label from the new bra that I bought in Liverpool.
Oh, TMI.
Yeah.
That was lovely.
And then like sometimes like that's I've joined the Bay Area Post Club, which is really fun.
And did you draw that? Did someone else draw that?
No, that's a stamp that was from the envelope that it came with. And then that's a poem that I wrote. So there are
She's
some.
very good with poems.
Thank you. I have stuck in a few bits. I've finished a few bits. I've left a few bits undone. Honestly, what I might do is I might go through with my stickers like at some point later in the year, and I might sit down and I might just fill up a lot of this space with stickers.
And now they know you're going to have to read a poem while you do it.
Okay. I'm not going to film it though, so I'll read a poem to myself.
No, I've got to do a voiceover.
And then this is what my February looks like so far. So I've done all 4 days of February so far. I did cave in the end. I bought the Suki no Iro Hobonichi Techo pens that are like colours selected.
Are they good?
I honestly don't love it. I find like the orange was too orange compared to that orange. And the brown is too dark compared to the brown. So it's fine. I regret...
And it takes the fun out of you do all those colour swatches.
I regret not using the fountain pen colours that I came up with last year. The main problem with the fountain pens is that I wasn't going through a whole cartridge every month, which meant that I would end up having like a pen that had leftover ink in it that wasn't getting used, but it was a bit too much to like... I wasn't using it then for like my diaries. I just ended up with like a lot of pens with like going glunky with
like
ink.
Refillable cartridges
They
that
are.
you could empty out.
They are. It didn't occur to me that I could empty them out.
Can you not?
Yeah, I can.
Well, problem solved. This is why I'm in the room, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I'm here 2 months too late.
I could have saved
year,
so many
a whole
pens.
year too late. Did you throw pens away?
No, I didn't throw them away, but they all got a little bit glunky.
I've got a moral conundrum over waste. Burn the house down.
Anyway, this is my bedtime book. So I tried to do 1 word or 1 little sentence per day for the whole month.
Oh, sorry, I've not got my glasses on. I thought that just said tuna.
That is the wedding industry was. That's Twitter. Yeah. And again, I'm not going to, like you can see, I've only decorated up to about April, and then I still need to do the rest of them.
Which is
I'm not gonna,
because it's February.
Yeah, I'm not going to linger too much, but this is what it all looks like when it's nice and filled in. There are some days I fell asleep, too tired to write. Like there is
Just the whole day.
no, as in like mid writing of
It's
the
like a
sentence.
cat's diary.
No, as in the middle of writing the
Meow, meow,
entry.
meow. Meow, meow, meow. I fell asleep.
Anyway, so there are some that are like, nothing in here is particularly interesting or salacious. This is like designed to be read back by, it's like an account of the day. Like, so week 6, today is Wednesday. So yesterday I didn't write. But because it's only one day, I'll go back and I'll fill it in the next day. And so I think that's sort of become my sort of rule, is that I won't go back and fill in more than one day past.
Right.
So if I skip one day, I'll go back and fill it in. But if I skip 2 days, I will go back and fill in 1 day's worth. So like here, I think I actually wrote that on the day. I just was like, no, I'm too tired. I'm not going to. And I just wrote it and went to sleep. But I think it looks really nice when it's like quite juicy and filled in. And I'm really enjoying it. But what I calculated is that this amount of writing space, because I am a nerd. So what I did was I calculated by surface area, by writing area, how much space each different book size has. And what I calculated was that this book, this is an Aura Estelle undated Catchall Weeklies.
Estelle.
So you've got 3, I'm ignoring you. So you've got 3 week size pages that divided into 7 gives you a writing surface area of 7,572
7,572 what?
writing units.
She's like, because I'm such a nerd. Gravity is 4. 4 what? 4 doopy doops.
But so this book here, no, stop laughing at me. Stop laughing at me. I've got to go out in a minute.
How many Great British pounds in a dollar? 12.70.
I think you'll find the objective answer to that is some.
So,
So this is an A5 take a note planner, and they also do an A6 take a note planner, which is the same format but is half the size, right?
yeah.
So what I calculated is the A6 take a note planner
Don't tilt it to me.
Sorry. And the A6 take a note planner has a writing space per day of 7,770
Dupes.
writing units, which means that no, I've lost it. I've lost my train of thought. Oh no, which means that for next year, because I'm already thinking about next year, I could have a similar size writing area, because last year I tried to use this as a bedtime book and it was too big. It's like double the amount of space.
How big is it?
It is about 15,540.
15,540 dupes.
So, but what I found is that this is a really comfortable size to write in, and like some of the pages, I've like used up quite a lot of space with stickers as well. Right. So it's, if anything, that 7,572 is smaller because I've used up a big chunk of that space.
I mean, I should hope it would be, given that it's your unit of measurement.
Yeah.
So the lower number should be small.
Yeah. No, but as in like the actual writing area per day is even less than that because I've stolen from that space using stickers.
Gotcha.
So what I'm thinking is that for next year, basically I have this problem of having like really, really intense brand loyalty. And I'm like, I want to support the brand, but I just keep collecting more brands that I love the products and I think that it's really great and they're like small businesses and I just want to support them. So my challenge every year is to figure out how I can buy one product from every single different brand and make it work in a system that works for me. So for next year, I'm going to have a bedtime book that's this size, that does the same thing. And then, but for next year, rather than having, at the moment I'm using this as my morning book and then I've got a daily page as well, for next year, I think I'm just going to have one book that is a daily page. And then I will include the morning activities on like half of the daily page. So, because I think that what I don't actually need is 2 separate books. Also, because sometimes like I'll sit down at the desk and like if I don't get to write in my morning book before I leave the house to go to work, I don't want to take it with me because then I'm taking an extra book. And the whole point of this whole system was to minimize the amount of stuff that I actually carry around with me on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
So when I then feel like I have to take
Well, this is why you deal
And-
in satchels rather than books.
And that, what, you know, when I feel like I have to take all of this with me to go to the office because I might need any one of these books, the system doesn't work. So that's why what I've tried to do this week, at least, is to take all of the information that comes in here and like transfer it into the relevant days ahead of time in the daily book. So that means that when I leave the house, I don't need to take that book with me. For next year, I will have learnt my lesson. These two books will become combined into one. And then I will still have the job-specific pouches, but this, you know, the one individual book can then be tucked into the daily book if I'm going out anywhere.
Okay.
Which means that then suddenly that whole pile is reduced down to essentially like this, and then an extra notebook if I want a spare notebook for writing in. But that will be included in there. So that whole pile then becomes much smaller.
Okay.
However, I'm not going to like undo anything that I've already done. And I'm not going to like start again this year because I've already spent the money and I'm just going to make it work.
So what would your advice be to anybody out there who is considering changing everything because they feel like it's not working?
I would say, like, okay, I'm a big believer in changing things when they're not working. I would say that 4 weeks isn't long enough to see if it works or not. I would say that you want to give it at least a full quarter, at least a full 3 months. And you need to decide what your like success metrics are. So for me, the success metrics are basically, am I getting my work done? Do I feel out of control and like, do I feel like I'm scrambling and that I'm lost and disorientated? Or am I able to relatively consistently come to the desk and know what needs to be done and then get on and do it? I suppose for me, the other thing personally, because I have so many books, is going, am I losing information? Like, do I feel like I'm losing track of information? Do I not know where to look? Do I not know where I've written stuff down? So far, that hasn't happened. I think the reality is that when it comes to the weekly processing stuff, I'm often writing it out again and again and again, week on week. So I've got like the monthly and then the weekly, and it's duplicated information. But for me, I need somewhere to process the thoughts, and then I can put them into a nice list that I can then follow. For me, those are two separate activities. So processing it then makes it easier to process it on the weekly level, which then makes it easier to process it on the daily level, because my memory is quite poor in terms of like keeping track of priorities. So I'm arguably very inefficient in my planning, but that's the most efficient way for me to plan, because if I try to be efficient, I just lose track of things, and then I have to start again from scratch anyway. So I build in the fail-safe by being inherently inefficient. But I suppose like this, you know, I built in the fail-safe of avoiding buying hundreds of journals throughout the year and starting my whole system over from scratch by saying that I'm going to let myself start in these books however much I want to. So that's the check-in for January.
And as you can see, it's obviously very organised.
Yep.
The desk started so neat.
Yeah. And then when we were in Liverpool, I bought a sticker. That's it.
Oh yeah. That was a nice little shop, wasn't it?
It was a gorgeous
an
little shop.
independent shop.
It was a gorgeous little shop. So basically I've got 3 pouches. I've got my everyday carry pouch, I've got my work pouch, and then I've got my like journaling pouch. So it is just 3 pouches ultimately, which I think is quite reasonable. I feel like every year I've scaled up in complexity of the system. I'm not going to say it's embarrassing, because I am having a lot of fun doing it. I do think it's unnecessary. And I do think that actually the constraint of being trapped into just one book would probably be very conducive to me being more organised.
Yeah, I don't think it would necessarily work, but also like it's not embarrassing because you're not doing this in a cafe. You're not like going out in the morning for a coffee and dumping out 12 books and going, oh, where do I find everything? Like, this is just you know, when you're summarising the whole thing here, it makes it look bigger than it is.
Yeah. And like the reality is that what I would love to have is an A1 size whiteboard that I could carry around with me everywhere, so that I could have everything in one visual field. So for me, the appeal of having lots of books is that I can stack my monthly here, I can put the weekly here, I can put the daily here, and I can have a project booked over here, and I can see everything open. Like the reason I don't like working on digitally is the same reason why I like having so many books, which is that I want to be able to see all of my tabs at the same time. I don't want to have to close one thing to see the rest of the information. So in fact, when I was looking at buying a laptop, I sacrificed the performance of the laptop so that I would have 2 screens, because I thought that having a double screen, I've got a laptop that like is like a tent that has like 2 screens, like both screens are screens, then you have a keyboard.
It's a Lenovo.
It's like a yoga book or something, but it's not as powerful as other laptops for a similar price were. But I thought, do you know what, actually having 2 screens, that means that I can have 2 apps open on both screens, so I can have 4 things open at the same time, is so much more useful to me than having something that runs faster, even though arguably having 4 things open means that it should need to run faster.
It does run quite fast.
It runs. It's a good laptop. It functions for what I need. As I'm moving into a project that's going to be a lot of animating, I think I need to upgrade the desktop, because I think I need to be able to run like more consuming software easily.
Okay, so in summary, what was this video about?
Journals. It was just an update, because I haven't recorded anything in a while. I haven't even been recording my plan with me's because it stopped being useful to me to record them. And I always said, no, as in like I don't need it anymore. Like I feel like I'm at a point where I'm doing it regularly enough. I'm not carrying the guilt. I feel like I've outgrown the like recording of my planning sessions. Because actually, even when I've been recording them, I've not been editing them and posting them, because that's the watching it back hasn't been helpful to me anymore. And I always said that the whole reason that I was putting stuff on YouTube is because it was fun and it was helpful. And when I got stressed enough that I was so busy that it was no longer fun to do the editing, and it wasn't helpful to do the editing either because I didn't need it anymore, like, why do I keep doing it? So I just wanted to make a video, just basically proof of life, to say that I'm still alive, to give an update. I think later in the year, I've got like a bit of a plan for what I want to do. I'm going to try and do 1 video per month. So this is technically January, so we'll do another one before the end of February.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'd definitely be up for suggestions.
Would be up for suggestions. If people have questions or anything specific that they want me to run through.
We do draw a line in the sand. We're not going to shout what's going to happen in the video right at the beginning, like a la Mr. Beast. That's not our...
Yeah, it's the production value is going to be very poor. But I was also thinking about doing some stuff of being like, you know, if you are looking to start decorating your journal, here's some things that I've learned, because even though I'm a professional artist, I found it really overwhelming to start, like, if you look back at some of the journal spreads I was doing in 2020 when I started bullet journaling, they're really ugly. Like, they're aesthetically displeasing. And I'm a professional artist. So
that's exactly why you shouldn't be listened to, though. This is the person who does a beautiful drawing and immediately hates it.
I will bring receipts. I will bring proof that my early spreads were not beautiful.
All right, challenge accepted.
Because they were not, Michael. They were all over the place, because I didn't know the rules of the medium. So when it comes to art, I say there's 2 things. You need technique and you need subject knowledge. Like, so if you're doing human figure drawing, you need to know how to mix colours, or paint, or hold a pencil, or whatever, and you need to know human anatomy, right? Those are the 2 things you need to know. When it comes to journaling, there's like, it's graphic design, it's like gutters and borders and layouts and like ratios and relationships and spacing and stuff. Like, that is a tangible thing that you can learn.
How many dots are on a page?
Well, exactly. Yeah. Oh, no, you're making fun of me.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to go. Look at my nails. They're growing out now, but aren't they cute? And I'm covered in ink because I've been working today. I think I literally have the best life. Like, my job is playing with ink and hanging out with my husband in my office making videos. I mean, I don't get paid for this.
Yeah, this isn't your job.
This isn't my job. This is my hobby. But it feeds into my job.
Fair.
All right, I'm going to go. I don't know how long this video is. It's probably far too long. So
Far too long. Far too long.
sorry, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, the internet.
Bye.
Can you put your hands in so you...
Woo!
Yeah.
Also, proof of life.
He's alive. He's alive. Woo.